Hey friends, DIY Brass Guy here. As we go on about 6 months of this pandemic and quarantines all around the world, I know many of us are looking forward to easing back into society, being in the same room as other people and getting back together with friends. There's only so much that Zoom meetings can do, but they can't really replace physical presence. Those of us in the performing arts have suffered a great deal of losses from work and income and just outputs of creativity that we all miss greatly. But as we look towards society opening back up, people starting to reconvene with meetings and, in our case, rehearsals, many times we need to do it cautiously. But as we do, I found some guidelines. I put some things together based on some research that I've done about how to come together safely in a rehearsal setting. And here are some tips that I found that'll help keep us safe as we ease back in carefully. Number one, spacing out the distance between the performers. 10 feet is better than 6 feet. As much space as you have, if you can move your rehearsal to a larger space and then distance them out, and also maybe split your ensemble into sections and then have rehearsals at different times. Another thing is not just about the amount of people you have in a room, but the duration of time that they spend in a room also allows germs to accumulate. So instead of having 1, 2, or 3 hour rehearsal with everyone in the room, split that into 2, 3, 4 groups, depending on your type of ensemble, and then shorten the rehearsal, maybe an hour, and then do it on different days, because there's also an accumulation of germs in a room that has poor ventilation. So you want to give that some time for the air conditioning unit. If you have a HEPA filter, or you can get one for the room, that has proven to help cleanse the room and filter the air pretty effectively. And so you can sort of flush out the air in the room between meetings in there of any kind. With an ensemble, I would split it into instrumental groups, or at least woodwinds and brass and then strings, or something along those lines. If you're a vocal coach, maybe men one day, women another. Maybe sopranos, then altos, tenors, basses. Whatever makes the most sense in your situation. So split them into groups, hold them on different days, or at least give some time in the room. Don't back to back them in the room, like 7 o'clock tenors, 8 o'clock basses. That's also not good. Then by the end of the day, whoever has the room last will receive the most concentration of germs, and you need time to flush out the air in the room to sort of cleanse it. Those performers that can wear masks while performing should. Singers, string players, percussionists. If while you're in the room performing, if you don't need your mouth and air to perform on your instrument, then wearing a mask proves to reduce the spread of germs. Brass instruments, they make covers that you can get for the end of your instruments. They do help. The two ways it spreads, aerosols and droplets. It helps reduce the droplets, although they did learn in some studies, I saw one from the University of Cincinnati, a music department that they held, that brass instruments have very little droplets coming out the actual bell by the time it gets through the instrument tubing. The condensation dissipates a bit. If you have practice rooms at your facility in your building, they are the least ventilated, they are tiny, they are a dream setting for germs to accumulate and grow and just live there. So shut them down until, I don't know, is this going to be over? Until this is over, until I can't even say. But for now, shut them down. They're just sponges for germs. So that's it for a few risk mitigating factors, because that's kind of what we're looking at in the next several months, I think, is as the numbers hopefully reduce, and then hopefully a vaccine will come into play and things. But what we can do in the meantime is social distance, but in our musician way. How does that translate to performing ensembles? And I think these are some risk mitigating factors that we can do that'll help us all get back together making music again. I'm DIY Brass Guy. Stay safe out there, and remember, everyone can make great music.